It is time now to go inside out as we welcome in SNY NBA insider Ian Begley. And Ian, how would you describe the reaction around the Knicks organization to the news that it appears Julius Randle might not need surgery?
I would say hopeful and happy with that news. Obviously, they hope to get Randle back at some point in the regular season, hoping that he avoids in-season surgery, but they haven't gotten to the finish line yet, so I didn't find anybody who was spiking the football planning on Randle's definitive return. But I don't think anyone was particularly surprised because of Julius Randle's will to get on the court whenever he can. You saw it last year in the playoffs. You know the numbers. I think he's played something like 95% of his possible games as a Knick since he signed in 2019. He's a gamer. He's a throwback. So people felt that if there was a way for him to avoid surgery and get back on the floor, he would pursue that aggressively.
As you mentioned, they're not at the finish line yet, so no touchdown celebrations. And I know you're not a doctor, but what's been the holdup in a definitive determination of what the injury actually is and how long Randle's expected to be sidelined?
Well, what we know, Eamon, is there was an X-ray after the injury. That X-ray didn't show significant damage. And then there was an MRI that evening. And then we had Sunday. Not much news, but I believe there was additional testing, and I think that's what led to some optimism that Julius Randle could avoid surgery here, which you heard on Monday morning. But I think there were more tests to be done, more analysis to be made. I think Tom Thibodeau referenced in Charlotte, they're just gathering information, trying to get as much information as possible to make a good decision here. So I think that's what the holdup is, maybe just a couple more tests, couple more second, third, fourth opinions before they figure this thing out.
All right, Ian, from one injury to another, what's the level of concern over OG Anunoby missing Monday night's game?
I don't think it's significant. I think it was something where he was warming up and he felt the elbow and he had ice on his elbow when the Knicks beat the Heat. So maybe he's just a little dinged up. But, you know, LaMelo Ball was ruled out before OG Anunoby, so maybe that played into it a little bit. Knicks knowing that they had enough to get the job done without OG, but I don't think it's a significant thing.
All right, as you mentioned, both teams were shorthanded. The Hornets bad to begin with, but the Knicks are playing so well right now, Ian. They persuaded some of the Charlotte fans to start cheering for the Knicks. What's clicking for this Knicks team right now?
I think there's a belief, right? You throw X's and O's out of there for a second. There's just a belief, and it starts with Jalen Brunson that no matter who is out there, the team can compete and it has a chance to win. And so that's why I think there was a feeling before the Randle injury among some people that, hey, maybe we don't do anything at the deadline. We're playing really well. It's tough to integrate somebody at the trade deadline. We could mess things up here. There was a thought that that might be their play. Obviously, now the Randle injury changes things, but that just tells you how much they believe in this group and they like this group.
No rest for the shorthanded Knicks as they are right back at it Tuesday night against the Jazz at the Garden. Ian Begley, thanks for joining us here on Honda Sports Night.